everyone, and thank you for joining us here for another Let's Talk Science experiment as part of our TD Summer Reading Club. In case you weren't aware, this week is week 5 of our Summer Reading Club. We are now into August, which means we will be giving out ballots for our August Summer Reading Club prize, which is a family fun prize pack filled with a variety of card games, board games, and more. You can earn ballots by visiting our GSBL Kids page on Facebook and commenting on our weekly challenge and weekly reading challenge posts. So these are posted on Fridays. Be sure to check back on our page throughout the week. And you can also earn ballots by picking up a Go kit from your local library branch, which are kits filled with fun printable activities that are offered on a first come, first served basis. While in branch, we encourage you to ask about 3D equipment that is available for borrowing, which includes our Explorer kits, tennis rackets, board games, and more. This week, during our Summer Reading Club, we've enjoyed a presentation by ornithologist Chris on the art of bird watching, a presentation on the night sky by Linda from the Astronomy Club, and we have one more staff-led program coming up this week, and that is S'more Fun happening on Friday, August 6th at 1 p.m. So be sure to check that out on the Greater Sudbury Public Library Facebook page. This week's session with our very special guest from Let's Talk Science is titled Bridge Bonanza. So without further delay, I'm going to hand it over to Dhruvi.
Okay. Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here again. So most of you, I guess, now know me, but I'm just going to give a short introduction. My name is Dhruvi. I'm a dental hygiene student at Cambrian College, and currently I'm a Let's Talk Science coordinator. It's been fun teaching science experiments, and we try our best to make it fun for you guys. So today we'll be talking about 2 different kinds of bridges. We'll be building them, and then we'll be testing their load limits. So before I start, I'm just gonna give you a list of things that we will be using today. So we'll be using mini marshmallows, toothpicks, paper cups, some paper clips, and pennies or any kind of beads just to increase and use them as a bait. So like we do every time, I'm just gonna ask some questions, and if somebody knows the answer, you guys can answer it in the chat, or I'll be giving the answers. So let's first start by finding out what do you guys know about bridges and the other structures related to bridge. So what are bridges used for? Like, what's the purpose of building a bridge? Why do we use a bridge? Why do we build a bridge? So the answer is it's used to cross something like lakes or rivers. So it's basically a connection between 2 points, or that is not crossable by walking or by anything. So we build a bridge. Anybody has any idea on what bridges are made of? So what materials are used to build a bridge? Bridges are usually made up of steel, concrete, wood, or stone. There are many other materials that are used too, but these are some of the common materials used for building up the bridge. So does anyone know what kind of shape or structure gives strength and stability to the bridge? So what kind of geometrical structure gives the most stable form to a bridge? So the answer is the best shape for strength and stability are domes and triangles. I'm now going to share my screen to show you different structures that incorporate triangles. So let me just share my screen here. The host has to able to like put the setting on, and you have to allow me to share the screen. Oh, thank you.
Sorry about that, Dhruvi.
It's okay. So this is the pyramid of Egypt, like everybody knows. So this is the one of the most common structure, and as you can see, it's made up of a triangle. Uh, Here, the next structure, next slide is Eiffel Tower, like everyone knows. But when you look closer to it, this long and tall standing Eiffel Tower has many small triangles that are put together to make this whole giant structure. So, like I said, triangles are the base that gives form the stability. Um, Here it's a bike, but if you look closely, there's a triangular structure being used here. So even in the bikes, the stability for the bike has been given by using various triangles. The playground climber here, if you look closely, there are lots and lots of triangles being incorporated in the structure, and that is what gives the stability, and it does not fall down when you climb on it. um, Construction of a house, so like I said, domes. So domes are usually designed in form of a triangle, and that's the reason that our house withstands every storm or every bad weather, you say, and it stands still there because of the structure that's been used there. So moving ahead, we will be talking, like I said, triangles and domes are the most stable structures. Now, today we are going to do a few different activities, and our first activity is going to demonstrate the strength of a square and a triangle. So, using our mini marshmallow and toothpicks, we will be making a triangle and a square. So, I'm again going to share my screen here. So using mini marshmallows, we'll be making a triangle or a dome and a cube, and we are going to test the stability. So I already have mine that I have made. So you just poke the marshmallows with toothpicks, and first you make a square, two squares, and then connect them with toothpicks so that you get your cube. And then you make a square, and then put three toothpicks and connect it with a marshmallow in the center to make your triangle. We are going to test the stability here. So when you put both the structures together, and if you move them together, like you see here on my screen, the cube is shaky, but the triangle is stable. It does not move. So, like, that's just to conclude that triangles are more stable, and they provide good stability to any form of structure. Now we are going to move to the bridge. So before we start talking about bridge, I'm going to talk about some of the terms that are related to bridges. So there are two terms we should know before we start building our own bridges. So these two terms are span and a deck. So span is the distance between two supports for a bridge. So from one end to the other end, the distance between the two ends is known as span, and deck is the surface of the bridge. So if you ever see a train passing through the bridge, or anything on a bridge, so maybe the base of the bridge on which the vehicle runs is known as the deck, and it's constructed using concrete, steel, pavement, or wood. Sometimes on the deck you might see that it's covered by a railroad tracks so the trains can pass from it. So that's the two terms that are important, which are related to bridges. Now moving ahead, we'll be talking about two different kind of bridges today. One is a beam bridge and the other one is a truss bridge. So we will be starting by building our own bridge, but I'm just gonna show you how a beam bridge looks like. So what is a beam bridge? A beam bridge is simply, it can be a log, a wood plank, or a stone slab that is laid across the stream. So I'm going to show you some more pictures how it looks like. Yep. Here we go. So this kind of structure is known as a beam bridge. So basically, it's just a connection. There's no special designing done. There is no over the top construction on underneath. This is just a simple bridge. So these kind of bridges are known as beam bridges. So there's nothing special. It's just a bridge that's being connected. So to make our own bridge, we'll be using 7 marshmallows on each side and 7 rungs. So we'll be making our beam bridge. It's gonna look like a ladder when you make one. So I'll show you how the beam bridge is gonna look once we make them. So using 7 marshmallows on each side, we will be connecting the marshmallows with a toothpick. It's gonna look like a ladder, but that's how a beam bridge looks like. So I have made mine already. So the beam bridge looks something like this. It's gonna look like a ladder, but you need this one to make the another bridge. So we will be using this as a base for our other bridge. So I'm going to say it again. We are going to use 7 marshmallows on both the sides and connect them with toothpicks in between. So there we go. We have our own beam bridge. So once we make our own beam bridge, we are going to hang a paper cup with a paper clip on it. And we are going to test its stability, how much weight it can bear. So you're going to hold the beam bridge and you're going to hang a paper cup with some weight in it. And we are going to just test the stability. Make a note of how many beads or how many pennies you put in and when the bridge breaks. Because our bridge is made up of marshmallows and toothpick, it's not going to be that stable. It's going to break very soon. But just try, and we just want to see how much load it can bear so that we can compare it with the other bridge when we make it. Now, moving ahead, we are going to talk about some more bridge terms here. So we should know about 2 types of loads. So it's a bridge and it bears a lots of load. So there are 2 kinds of loads. One is a dead load, another one is a live load. So load creates forces on the structure. So dead load includes the permanent part or permanent structures of the bridge. So for example, in a beam bridge, dead load includes the marshmallows and the toothpicks. And live load includes the removable, changeable parts of or structure, like in a real bridge, the passing vehicles or train or even the wind is considered as live load. So now we are going to make our own another bridge, which is a truss bridge. So in order to make our truss bridge, we are going to use the beam bridge as a base, and we will be making triangles on top of the beam bridge. So before we do that, I'm just going to show how the truss bridge looks like, so we can differentiate between the 2 different kind of bridges. So this kind of bridge that has a construction or structure above the beam bridge is known as a truss bridge. And when you look closely, there are small triangles that have been incorporated here to make the whole structure. So like I said before, triangular structure is used as the base to provide strength to the bridge. Here's one more picture. If you see here, it's used at the bottom of the beam bridge. So this is the beam bridge that is passing, and at the base or at the bottom, you see that there is structures that's built here, and it's triangular in a shape. So different triangles are incorporated together to form a whole big structure, and this is what gives strength to the bridge. So now that we have a clear idea about what a truss bridge is going to look like, we are going to build our own truss bridge. To make the truss bridge, we are going to add triangles to the beam bridge that we have already made. So this is what our beam bridge is going to look like. So if you look closer, the base is beam bridge, and we are just going to add toothpicks on each side and connect it with a marshmallow to form triangles. And this is how our beam bridge, our truss bridge is gonna look when we make triangles at the top of it. So it's gonna take time to make our own truss bridge, but if you are good, if you have made the beam bridge, it's gonna be easier to just connect the toothpicks with a marshmallow and form the whole bridge. Once you have done making your truss bridge, we will test the truss bridge again by hanging a paper cup and paper cup with a paper clip on the center of the bridge, and we'll be putting some beads into it to check how much weight it can bear. So I'm just gonna keep share this screen for some time so that you guys can have a closer look on how to make it, and then I will take the session forward. So now I will be showing how to test the load. So here I'm gonna use a paper clip and just poke it in the glass. And we will be hanging this on the bridge that we made. And there's some beads into it, but like you can see, my bridge is almost like it's bending. So just keep a note on how much weight we are putting into the beads and check the compatibility between both the bridges. So it's just easy with a paper clip, and you're just gonna hang the glass. There's some beads into it. We are just going to note down how many beads were used in both the bridges. So if you test both the bridges, we come to a conclusion that the truss bridge is way more stronger than the beam bridge, and it's because, like I said, because of the triangular structures that we have used in the construction, in the making of the bridge. So that's all about the two kind of bridges that we were going to make today, but we will be talking about some more different kind of bridges. So there's also a bridge which is known as an arch bridge. So remember that the triangle and dome are very stable structure. There are some kind of bridges that are known as arch bridges. So I'll share the screen again. So this kind of structure, like you see here, there's an arch. So this kind of bridges are known as arch bridge. They are usually less preferred structure to be made because they are very costly to make, and the construction takes a lot of time. So these are the less preferred kind of bridges that are being made. The another bridge is a cable bridge. So I guess many people might have seen this kind of bridges. So this is a cable bridge. So like you see here, the beam bridge is being connected with cable, but if you look closely, the cable are in form of triangles. The another form of bridge is a swing bridge. So usually this kind of bridges open by when there's a water body like a ship passing underneath, and it opens up, and when the body has passed, it closes down and comes back to its original form. We have such one kind of bridge nearby near Little Current. I don't know if people have an idea about it or not. This is the very famous bridge. I guess many people know about it. So this is the, sorry, yeah. So this is the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's a suspension bridge. So it can bear a way more load than normal bridges. They are made at some specific height, so maybe 2,000 to 7,000 feet, and they have lots of cables, and they have lots of truss structure, that is triangular structure being used, which gives them the stability. And so if you look at the base, there's the truss structure there, and there's this cable being used here. So these kind of bridges are at a very huge height, maybe like I said, 5,000 or 7,000 feet above the sea level. And these structure, that's the truss at the bottom, gives its stability, and it prevents it from twisting and bending. So yeah, that's all about the bridges. I hope you guys had fun, and it's gonna take time to make the bridge if you start building it up, but it's really fun if you make it, and we would like to have some comments if you guys really make it, and was it fun or not. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dhruvi, for your presentation. I didn't see any questions or comments right now. I'm sure there'll be people who are tuning in to check it out later.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everyone for participating at home in our experiment this week. Hope you had fun. And thanks very much to Dhruvi of Let's Talk Science for hosting this neat experiment. Next week, our summer reading club theme is backyard games, so be sure to check in on our kids page for a rundown of all of the great programs that will be happening, including another science experiment titled Toilet Paper Solar System, hosted once again by our friends at Let's Talk Science.